Holding space for the holidays.
Ooh.
It is and can feel like a mammoth task.
Yes.
And that is what Rachel and I have been talking about recently. So, this
Yes.
whole idea that I think the holidays are a lot of different things for a lot of different people.
Yeah.
We're at the end of the year, and there are a lot of people like me. I love Christmas. Christmas is like my favorite holiday of the year because I was always guaranteed to be with my family. And I
Mm-hmm.
loved being with my family. And it was us together having delicious food. And it was, it was just my immediate family. So it was my siblings and my parents and Sue, my aunt. And it was just so good. So I love the holidays, right? For me,
Right.
the holidays are like, yes, it's good. It's going to be awesome. Like, I want to get my Christmas lights up early. I want to enjoy it as much as I can. I'm very aware that not everybody feels the same way.
Have you started
Christmas.
decorating in October?
No, no, I'm
Not yet.
not. I'm not.
Not there. You're not
I'm not
there.
there yet.
Okay. All right.
Not there yet. I used to say no Christmas music before Thanksgiving. And I think that's partially because I'd get irritated with like stores pushing Christmas stuff. Like, I'm like, we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet.
Yes.
Now, occasionally I listen to Christmas music before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we're not in the put up decorations in October yet. If you are, more power to you, but
Oh, my kids
we're not
already
there yet.
started. My kids are already starting. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm aware that not everybody does. I'm aware
Yes.
that the seasons are not the same for everyone. And
Hmm.
Rachel and I were talking about the fact that for some people, Christmas is lonely. It's a time
Yeah.
of grief. It's a time of mourning the loss of someone that they love.
Hmm.
There's so many other things that we can feel at the holidays. And
Yeah.
I think that it's very important to actually take the time to pause and figure out what's important for you.
Yeah.
What is it that you need? And identify, how do I hold space for other people
Hmm.
and where they're at with, for me, something that has a lot of joy, but I recognize, hey, that's not the case for everybody. How do you
Yeah.
hold space for that and not shove my joy into somebody else's face, or my sorrow, but to be able to show up in that and to hold space for what they're experiencing and hold space for what
Hmm.
I'm experiencing.
Yeah. One that I think about it holding space with that gentleness and kindness and respect. With respect,
Yeah.
always with respect. Of you're allowed to have fun. You are allowed to enjoy yourself,
Yes.
even if other people aren't. And you're
Right.
allowed to feel compassion for them in the situation that they're in, and knowing that they're probably not ever going to share that same joy that you feel. It's still okay to accept them where they're at, but also I don't have to change everything about me and where I'm at just because
Yeah.
they don't feel this way. And that could be for any number of reasons. Like the things you listed, it could also be religious differences. Like maybe they don't celebrate the same holiday.
Yeah.
Like whatever those things are. Like at one point, there was all this stuff going around about saying Merry Christmas or not. And I'm like, I enjoy Christmas. I'm going to say Merry Christmas. But there's nothing in me that's
Right.
saying you have to also enjoy this holiday. And if I
Right.
know somebody celebrates something else or they do something else, I will absolutely make a point to celebrate like honor what they celebrate. And I will
Yeah.
say something different to them when I know that. If I don't know, it's just a greeting to me. It's a fun greeting because I'm having fun.
Right.
But I hate that the thought that ever my enjoyment of something would upset somebody else. I don't want it to. And
Right.
I think that's where that challenge is like, where are you at? And even recognizing where I was at, like 10 years ago, I had told my at the time husband that I was filing for divorce.
Was this right around the holidays?
It was. I actually
Okay.
told him before Thanksgiving, and I was like, I didn't know when I was going to tell him, but I
Right.
had realized I was like, this is not, things aren't changing.
Yeah.
I've done all these things for years and it hasn't changed. I've talked to him again about this and like multiple times, like so many things that I did. And I was like, there's no good time. There's no good
Yeah.
time to deal with that hard thing. But then I thought about going through Thanksgiving and Christmas again, being miserable, being unhappy, and knowing that this was coming. And it was like, I don't want to tiptoe around. I don't want to put on the face. I don't want to pretend I'm happy when I'm not. I don't know. And it was really hard. It's like, I don't want to be around people that I care about, but that I can't be myself with. I didn't want that. I was just like that. It was a really tough thing because it was like, is it easier to do this thing before? Is it easier to do it after? There's never an easy time
Right.
for that. But it's just increased my awareness of people are in all these different places.
Yeah.
Because like so many Christmases, like before I was married and stuff, like most of them I had wonderful ones. And even when I was married, there were ones that were wonderful. And then there were ones that were not, that it was just like kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, we're on eggshells. And I'm trying to be present with people who are loving every moment like you. And when I'm miserable inside.
Yeah.
And because of our connection, it felt still okay. Like I didn't feel like you were trying to force me to ever have
Right.
your enthusiasm or whatever, which I realize if you didn't know somebody that might feel different. But then also like my awareness now of how many, like the Christmases, my first Christmas without my kids. That was hard.
Yeah.
That was really hard. And you can probably hear the emotion coming up for me, just like it hit me. And I don't remember if it was the Christmas Eve day or Christmas. I don't even remember. But Rebecca and my other sister and my mom, they'd planned, we'll go do something with Rachel. And I began a tradition of, I'm either going to go to the movies or like if it's Christmas Eve day, I'll go shopping. I began to do something that I enjoyed, and I created new traditions. I had never been to the movies on Christmas Day, ever.
Yeah.
And I kind of loved it. And it was like, I was so grateful to the people who were working that day. And I was so appreciative to them giving their time that I got to do something that was fun for me
Yeah.
on a day that was really hard.
Yeah.
And, sorry, there's so many parts of my brain, like all these different
Yeah.
directions. But
Well,
it's
and if
like,
I
yeah,
I
go
was going
ahead.
to say, if I could interject, I appreciate you sharing that. I also appreciate that that is such a perfect example of a couple of different things. One, the fact that, hey,
Yeah.
the holidays weren't always amazing and joy filled, they were hard.
Yeah.
And the fact that you had people in your life who did hold space for the fact that it was hard. They
Yes.
didn't try and pretend that what you were experiencing
Yeah.
wasn't hard.
Yeah.
Hey, we need you to be happy right now because we want
Yeah.
to be happy.
Yeah.
No, it was like, hey, we're still joyfully enjoying the holidays. What can we do to embrace you in this season? You know, it's like I'd totally forgotten that. I love that we were like, let's do something different. And I like
Yeah.
that turned into you creating new traditions so that you could still love the holiday season on the years when you didn't have your kids with
I've been
you.
a little
And
disappointed every time you guys have decided you didn't really want to go to the movie with me anymore.
I don't know if I've been home for that very often.
Maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't. It was like nobody else wanted to go. I'm like, well, that's not very much fun. So
Yeah.
I stayed home and it was fine. But and recognizing, like, even looking at myself and realizing how I would not have necessarily shared or expressed what was going on inside of me with people I wasn't close to. So
Right.
if I were on the outside of that, like, what does it look like? Like, if you know somebody is going through a separation, if you know they're grieving, like, you can just let them know that you're with them and just be like, hey, my heart is with you. If there's something you need, like,
Yeah.
I know that's so vague, but at the same time, letting people know that you're thinking of them can be really nice, and
Yeah.
holding space for their differences. And
Well, and you
Yeah.
said earlier when you and I were talking, you started talking about knowing what you want or what you think you need in this season.
yes,
And
Yes.
I would like to know more about that.
yeah, I would say one of the big takeaways Rebecca and I were talking about, like, what does it look like to hold space for people, to hold space for yourself and for all these differences that are out there. And I think we face that in every aspect of our lives right now. whether it's politics, whether it's cultural differences, whether it's religious differences, whatever it is. And then you add in the holidays and you add these stark contrasts that can come up, and it can
Yeah.
be the worst time in the world for some people and the best for others. And it makes it even more polarized. So I think these things are true regardless of the time of season, but I think especially in the season, what does it look like what was the question again? Sorry, tell me again. I was about to say something and I'm like, I'm not sure if you're actually answering the question anymore. You
We're
know how
talking
to figure it
about
out.
what does it look like to pause and actually figure out what you need in
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So taking a moment and just recognizing what is it I want. Like I realize there are times when I will feel maybe guilty for feeling happy or enjoying myself. Like
Right.
I realized an example is like Mother's Day. I saw a ton of posts about how there are moms out there who haven't gotten to be a mom,
Yeah.
but they've longed for, and I'm like, I love all the different things. And I realized I just wanted one message to say to me, congratulations, Mom, you're doing good. I was like, but most of the messages I was seeing were these other ones, which I loved and appreciated because I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm holding space for those people too. My heart weeps with those people too. But I also was like, I kind of just want one just kind of like happy, nice message.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is part of it, is I'm actually allowed to be happy. And I had a really hard time because for some reason, because I knew there were so many people suffering and so many hearts that were hurting, there was a part of me that was afraid to just embrace that. And so that's where I think coming in and recognizing, what is it I need in this? I need comfort. I need someone to recognize my pain. I need, or maybe want is a better word, I want someone to just be like, hey, you're doing a great job. Congratulations. Like maybe it's more chipper, maybe it's whatever. And I think that there's so many nuanced things here with, we don't want that false positivity, that false happiness.
Right.
'Cause it's not real. We want the real thing. We want the real compassion that comes in and says like, oh my gosh, I feel your pain and your hurt. We want those things, but realizing, so what is it that I'm wanting and needing in the season? What is it that I'm wanting to experience and enjoy? Like taking a moment with that. And then like letting that awareness begin to spread out of, okay, now I know what I'm needing. Who would I like to connect with? Like, oh, I want to connect with these friends or this, or you know what? I want some of that, but I also want some time with people who understand what it's like to be a single parent and to not have your kids.
Yeah.
I also want to be with people who know what it's like to grieve the loss of somebody they love. Like my grandma died close to Christmas a few years
Yeah.
ago. And it was like, Grandma, I'm not ready for you to be gone. And we were already, it was a few days before Christmas. Like whatever those things are, allowing yourself to recognize what you need in you, and then that awareness to expand out and hold some space for somebody else in a different season.
Yeah.
And to have compassion for their season, even when your season is very different. And
Yeah.
maybe it's a hug that you give them, or maybe they're not someone who can have a hug. Maybe touching them is too much. Maybe it's just being with them and saying, I'm really sorry. I wish things were different. Maybe
Well,
that's
and-
it. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm getting all
Well, and
teary-eyed
I think
over
that
here.
having compassion for ourselves and having compassion for other people are not
Yes.
mutually exclusive. You can do both at
I
the
agree.
same time, which is part of the idea of holding space during the holidays. You are not just holding space for other people, you are also
Right.
holding space for yourself. In that pause that you said, take time to pause and think about what is it that I need in this season. Maybe I need multiple things. I want to surround myself with people who love Christmas and are joyful about it. But I
Yeah.
also want to spend a little bit of time with some of my friends who I know have been grieving a loss, because I have too. And I know what it feels like
Yes.
to go through the holidays with grief instead of just joy, or to go through the holidays with the sensation of not having my kids with me as I celebrate this year. And even though I know I get them next year, there's still the sorrow of not having them this year.
Yeah.
So it can be more than one thing. And I think
Absolutely.
that when we have compassion for ourselves and know some of what we need, the overflow of that can often make us a lot more capable of kindly having compassion for and offering somebody else the same thing, or asking them what it is that would help them in this
Yeah.
holiday season.
Or
You know,
maybe
and
you can't. Maybe they're not in it. Maybe you are in the midst of the grieving
yeah,
and you can't do that. It's okay to
that's
just
true.
recognize right now, this is where I'm at, but I can still be okay that people are going to have fun. I just may not
Right.
spend as much time with those people. Like maybe that's what you're
Yeah.
recognizing.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. So we invite you to pause and identify what would help you to hold space for yourself and those around you with compassion, with kindness, with
Yeah.
clarity. You know, and that doesn't mean you don't have boundaries. We always with healthy
Yes.
boundaries, but holding
Yes.
that space so that you navigate the holidays in a way that it's what you need in this season.
It honors you and those around you.
Yeah.
And I think that that's it's very challenging, especially when we aren't in the same season, when we aren't in the same space, when we don't have the same points of view. It's very challenging. But it's also an incredibly beautiful thing. So,
It is.
yes. So, we encourage you to go ahead and take that time for yourself, to hold space for yourself and then hold space for others. And that's part of what it looks like to live fully present. That's part of what it looks like, is to be connected to yourself and to those around you, and all the differences that are out there that just make up this beautiful mosaic that is humanity. So,
Yeah.
thanks.
Guys, we are Rachel and Rebecca with Remarkably Luminous. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.